Hello again. So after driving pretty much the entire morning, I am at the Great Basin National Park. Going to go for a little bit of a walk now and then go to the campground I'll be staying at. I'll be here for 3 nights. So tomorrow I'll take it easy today. Tomorrow I'll do a full day of hiking and exploring. So I'm excited. There's a cave here which I won't be visiting, but this log cabin was home to the guy who managed the cave or entrance to the cave once it became public in 1930. For this afternoon, I'll just be doing the short mountain view trail. It's short, I hope it's not too much uphill. We shall see. It's just a short walk that I'm doing, but even from here, the view of the valley is quite spectacular. I think maybe I'm using the word spectacular too often, but it's justified. Hey, so I'm at my campground for the night. This campground's a little bit different because it's not a normal, regular paid campground. This ground belongs to the Bureau of Land Management, and the campsites here are free on a first come, first served basis. This is a little bit tucked away. There's only one other person here, and check out the views I have from here. Also, unlike most Bureau of Land Management sites, this one actually comes, you've got a nice private kind of area here cut off by trees, and you have a picnic table, a barbecue and a fire pit. The only challenge is that when I leave tomorrow, there's no guarantee that the site will be available when I come back tomorrow night. But we can only hope for the best. Good morning. It is 7:30 a.m. and I'm at the Great Basin National Park. I'm starting the Wheeler Scenic Drive. We climb 3,000 feet, from 7,000 to 10,000 feet by a car. And near the top there's the start of a 3 or 4 mile loop hike, which I'm going to do. So this should be fun. I'm really pleased I got this RV and not one size bigger, because this road, the Scenic Drive, is limited to vehicles under 22 feet. And I can see why. My vehicle is 19 feet, so no problem. Just take it slowly and carefully, and we've just started and the view is amazing. So I've stopped for a minute at an overlook, climbing up Wheeler's Drive in the canyon. We're at about 8,500 feet. And you can see where the tree line ends. This is just too high, too cold in winter. It's 8 in the morning and I'm here with a sweater on. But this is really very good hiking weather, so I'm looking forward to getting a bit of that done. So, there are 2 hike options here. One is very strenuous at 9 miles, and the other one is moderate at about 6 miles. Because I'm not that fit yet, and also this hike starts at 10,000 feet elevation, I'm going to take the 6 mile one. So, here goes. I was walking on a path amongst the trees, but now the scenery is starting to open up as I climb. On a separate note, climbing uphill at 10,000 feet takes it out of you a little bit. So now, at an altitude of almost 3,000 meters, I've hit Stella Lake, one of apparently a number of lakes, and this time, hey, there is water in it, unlike my experiences at Yosemite. The trail just split. I'm doing a circular route. I just passed a guy coming down, the only guy I've met on the trail, who did up to the summit up there, which is about 3.1 miles and from here. But he said that that's 13,000 foot, over 13,000 foot height, which is over 4,000 meters. And he said he recommends not doing it unless you're really fit and you're acclimated. And I got here yesterday. I am not acclimated to this, so I am not going to take a chance. This route is truly beautiful, so this is what I'm going to be doing. It's just awesome walking down this trail, and off to the side, the breaks in the trees, you have this magnificent scenery. And here we are at the second little lake, more of a dam than a lake, but they've kindly put a wooden bench here. This is a good place to take a rest. So when I hike, always make sure I have a whole bunch of essentials, and I will do a separate video on what I carry with me when I hike. But two of the things that I almost always carry are nuts and beef jerky. The beef jerky is not as good as biltong, for those of you who know what it is, but it'll do. It's a good substitute. And it's time for another little bit of a break. Just never cease to amaze. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I know I use that word a lot. So, some fun facts. We're at nearly 3,000 meters altitude. That's about 12,000 feet. These trees are pine, type of pine tree. They're pretty much the only trees that can grow at this altitude. And even after they die, like this one here, they don't fall down and decay. They're just worn away by the elements. And that can take thousands of years. According to the sign, this tree died approximately in the year 1400. So it's been around for a while. Well, this sign behind me tells me that I've reached Glacier Point, which is the furthest spot out on this hike. This hike basically comprised of a loop of about 4 miles. And at one point in the loop, I left the loop to come up the trail for about I think it's about a mile, 1.6 miles each way. So I'm going to rest for a few minutes, enjoy the scenery, and then head back down. This is the view down the valley from here. And the reason this is called Glacier Point, you can see here where the glacier is basically carved out. This, tens of thousands of years ago, the glacier carved out this valley, heading back downhill. So, fun fact while you're here, here's how a glacier is formed. In areas where more snow falls in winter than melts in summer, the ice sits on top of it, layers sit on top of themselves, and from their weight, it breaks off the fine edges of the snow. And if you've ever seen a picture of a snowflake under a microscope, those fine edges are broken off, and you're just left with a hard core, which becomes incredibly tightly packed. and basically solid ice. And from its own valley, from its own weight, if there's any kind of a slope, it will start moving downhill and tear away the sides of the mountains and boulders, etc. with it. Okay, that's class for today, at least for the moment. So, I made it back to the vehicle. That was 10.4 kilometers or 6.5 miles. I have to say that was the top hike so far. So great. About 3.5 hours it took me, so I'm really happy. The whole afternoon ahead. So, I had lunch at the visitor center. Couldn't resist. Soup and salad. A cheesy southern vegetable soup, homemade. It was really good. And now I'm doing a second trail for today, much shorter. I think this one's about 3 miles. Baker Canyon, still in the park, and you can probably hear, for once again, very pretty route, alternating between walking through trees and open meadows. It's a bit of a climb at the moment, but that's not so bad because the hike ends where I started, which means that the last part will be downhill, which is just fine with me. I'm nearly at the end of my hike. It was about 3.5 kilometers, but not too bad for a second hike, especially considering it was fairly steep up and then down. But this is a great little view to end the hike on the bridge and then looking upstream. Really pretty. So I'm back in the campground where I slept last night. A slight difference. The campground has 12 free 11 of them are, 4 of them are up the hill there, which is where I slept. And the other 7 are in a semicircle down here around a little pond. As you can see, there's a great distance between each site. That's my closest neighbor up there. And each site has a covered picnic area, a fire pit, and a barbecue. And I might do a barbecue tonight, we'll see. But the best part about this campground is it's free. You can stay here for up to 14 days for free, which is a really good deal. The place is spotless. Last night was dead quiet, I didn't hear a thing. You can't ask for more. So after spending a day and a half in the national park here, in the Great Basin National Park, I've got tonight, and I'm supposed to be again tomorrow night, but I think I'm going to town tomorrow, have a slightly later start and take care of things. I want to do laundry, a little bit of shopping. I've been having some issues with the internet with my phone. I want to get those all sorted out tomorrow. According to the rangers I spoke to, I've done the best bits of this park. So I'm pleased I'm not moving on tonight, because after 2 hikes today I'm tired. I wouldn't have wanted to drive far. So it's maybe one day too many, but it'll give me a chance on the way to stop in town, about 75 kilometers from here on the way, and take care of all those things. The sunset from here is just stunning. It is dead quiet. You don't hear anything from the people staying here. Just amazing. It's totally awesome. And there, of course, is my vehicle. Well, good night. See everyone tomorrow. What a beautiful evening in Nevada.